Hello, welcome back to Football United TV. I'm here with channel regular Eric. Haven't been on for a while, actually. It's nice to see
Yeah,
you again, mate.
always good to be back. It's always good to be back. It's a pleasure, man. Love
Exactly, mate.
chatting
And it's good.
football.
It's good to obviously get your opinions on this as well because we haven't talked in a while, and there's lots of transfer speculation. But we'll start off with Chelsea's recent performances. How are you feeling about Chelsea after the last time we talked?
It's a bit shaky. It's shaky, but it works. We will go in and we'll play some of these tough games. And really, I think we should have, for example, I think we should have got the result against Arsenal. That ended up 2-2. But the way that we played was with character. I mean, we that first half was something to be proud of. The end result isn't necessarily what something to walk away smiling with, but overall we outplayed that team, and that is the most important thing to me is that we continue to play well. Obviously, results are a bit tough. I think that finishing is a little bit hard at the moment. I think that we can,
Yeah.
if we get some reinforcement coming off the bench, like say signing Edison Cavani or someone in the attack who has goals in them, that'll help Tammy up in the front to where it's not just his job putting the ball in the back of the net. And I'm not saying that we don't have the talent on the wings to be able to do that. I mean, Hudson Odoi, he's a young man who's coming into the Lions. He's showing signs of goal scoring potential, but he isn't. This is his first year in the Premier League, and I think that um, it'll take a couple of years before he's at that caliber. With Willian, he's aging a little bit, but he can still get goals, which is nice to have. But you can't guarantee a goal every game. Um, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting end to the final season. I know we have a tough stretch of games coming up. Leicester away, I think, followed by United, and then I have to look at United,
Can
Tottenham,
I
and
say,
then
Eric? Do
yeah.
you know how significant this is, right? Because we're 6 points, Man United is 6 points away from Chelsea in the Premier League.
Hmm.
And you're obviously playing Leicester who are on a very big high.
Yeah,
Man United are playing Wolves. And then if we face each other,
it'll be down to three
down
points.
to the
It depends.
fourth place. Yeah,
Yeah,
what do
it
you
could.
make of this?
I don't really see us losing to Leicester. I think Leicester has lost that gas that they had at the beginning of the season. I think that because they did have a very easy beginning after the schedule, beginning after the season, that they're not the Leicester that were in form. I mean, they just lost the other day to, was it West Ham, beat them 2-1. Um, and and they go up against the big teams, the big four, and they aren't pulling up the results. I mean, they're doing it well against the bottom half of the teams, which is what keeps them in the position that they're in. But I'm expecting a close game. I'm not saying that it's an easy win, but I do expect a win from us against Leicester.
Well, they lost
Wolves,
last night, wasn't it? Against Aston Villa in the Carabao
yeah,
Cup.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So it's just they're it's a Sorry, I mixed the two, West Ham and Aston Villa. That they lost 2-1 to Aston
Same
Villa, and
colours.
yeah,
Colours.
yeah. Sorry, I got the colors mixed up. But
So do I.
their form, yeah, their form has dropped, and they aren't the Leicester that were coming out of the gates flying at the beginning of the season. I'm not saying that they're still not going to finish in a very high, very good position, but they were trying. I feel like that magic from that beginning, that um 2014, 2015 uh, league win was starting to like, oh, can they do it again? And that kind of died away. So um, I think that this time around a um, it's going to be a win for us. I think I see either a win or a draw, which is good enough for me. Um,
What's your predictions, Eric, of the score? What do you think the score will be?
Either 2-1 us, or 1-1. And if they do score, it would be a late on. I think that with Rudiger back, that's been, if he can find a consistent, have a really good game, I think that's going to be crucial.
Yeah.
I think that working it out with him, Zuma, Tamori, and Azpilicueta in the back, there's been something about these late goals that they've been giving up off of either cheap set pieces or just letting the ball by. And if they can really gridlock that back four, then I think we'll be all right. Not just against Leicester, but going forward against Stephen United, going into Bayern after that. I think that that's going to be crucial. That the back four really focuses.
Yeah.
I think with N'Golo Kante, he's been perfect for us. I mean, other than that slip against Arsenal, which was completely unlucky, he's been the rock of our center, the center of the park. And like I said, with our attacking options, we've got quite a bit. But I'm hoping to wrap up at least a couple transfers that will bring in and at least give a little bit of strength and back into the squad before we go into summer and try and get a real replacement for that void that still kind of lingers from Eden Hazard. There's that post Eden Hazard syndrome, but at the same time, we've also been able to keep ourselves consistent enough to be in the top four, which is what I'm happy with.
How are you feeling about Mason Mount? Obviously, he hasn't been doing as good recently. Do you think he'll pick it up again? He's still young and he's still trying to learn and figure out what he's got to do as a professional player in a big league.
Absolutely. It's funny you said that. I think that with him, he's a perfect example of a fresh young talent. I mean, and I think that it varies. I think it defines the rest of the squad's performance defines how he plays as well. I think it's funny how when you put him and Tammy up top and one of them scores, usually one either has an assist or one has a goal. So I think that it depends on how well the front three is playing as well. I don't think it just varies on just him. I think that there's a little bit of a competition between that English front three who are all below the age of 22. They've got this chemistry about them that isn't just that's for Chelsea. I think that they're trying to get into a breakthrough position in the national squad, which is exciting because it just pushes them that much more. And, had I not seen what I've seen so far with him, I would be worried. I'd be like, oh man. But the fact that I know what he's capable of now shows that he's just a young man and he only has potential to go and grow from here.
Well, yeah. I mean, imagine, say, in the summer transfer window, you're buying some great talent that you can work around and feed off of. That would be really good for him and his career anyway.
Absolutely.
So you were talking about making the international squad, and I'm just thinking of Olivier Giroud now. And where is he going to go? I mean, I'm hearing rumours of Tottenham Hotspur. We were talking about this earlier, weren't we, over chat? What do you make of this?
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I think that no matter where he goes, I think it'll be good that he just goes somewhere. I think that just as a player, I mean, as a Chelsea fan, I am happy with what he did for us. I mean, he was crucial in that Europa League success we had last year. I mean, he's a fantastic player. When we first signed him, I was really skeptical. I can't lie.
Because he's from Arsenal.
Yeah, and well, not just that. It's just that he doesn't have a whole lot of goals in him, and which at Chelsea, the likes of Chelsea, United, Arsenal, anybody in that top four contention, you as a striker, if you're a striker for any of those teams, you have to have goals in you feel, or if not, then you've got to rack up the assists, and which he did, which link up play with him and Hazard last year really worked out with him. I mean, they were phenomenal together. Especially in European competition. But he's aging. And, I guess Lampard thinks that Batshuayi coming off the bench is a little bit better of an option just because of probably pace and just because just the formation that we're playing. I think that with the wingers, with the pace that the wingers and the wing backs have, I think that we're playing more of a quick game that just is a little bit too fast for him. Where would I like to see him go? I don't think I'd want to see him go to Tottenham. I just wouldn't. No.
Eric, is it true?
But I could see.
Is it true as a Chelsea fan, your bitter rivals in London are actually Tottenham?
Yeah, I mean,
You
if you
definitely
really,
hate Tottenham, right?
yeah, I mean, Tottenham and I have a history, but it's one of I mean, right now probably the biggest rival that we have playing wise in terms of the competition is probably Tottenham. That is probably the hottest rivalry right now. I mean, Fulham haven't been in the Premier League consistently or have been in even a contention to be able to be considered real rivals in recent years. So
So I guess
it
Tottenham
would
for
be.
you is like seeing a girl that you didn't want to get with, right?
Mhm.
And knowing you're glad that you didn't get with her because she was not for you, that she's just not right. Yeah.
That would probably be the best description of Tottenham. You could have said.
Just trying to add it into a little
Yeah,
bit of
no.
a social
Oh,
aspect.
that's very relatable. Very relatable.
You
No.
look at her and you're like, I'm glad
Yeah.
I didn't pick her. Like, I could have done, I could have been
You look back,
vulnerable.
and you think that was the best decision. No, and it's been a good set of years as a Chelsea fan. I mean, just seeing the decade, just looking back over the decade, we've won a lot of trophies, and as I look back, I can say that Tottenham have always been that thing. Like what's up, but it's almost like you hate them, but because you love football, they're still part of that football, like
Yeah.
that footballing world. So it's just like without Tottenham, there's no big rivalry. There's no I'm wearing my Chelsea jersey today. So and seeing Jose go there, it just makes it even better. I mean, how he's in charge and after all that, it just makes it that much more gritty and that much more intense of a game. Every time we face off against them and seeing the players that have come and gone from Tottenham. I mean, Eriksen out the door now. Kane hurt. I know they made a new signing, but from PSV, I can't remember the young lad's name, but they just picked up a good
Bergwijn.
little. What was the name again? Sorry.
Bergwijn from PSV.
Yeah, heard good
Winger.
things about him. Haven't quite looked into it just because I haven't quite paid enough attention to the Dutch league, but
Apparently the fastest player in the Eredivisie this
really,
season. Yeah, apparently, yeah.
wow. That'll be interesting. I don't see Tottenham not doing any damage to anybody. I mean, I don't right now. Um, maybe top five, maybe top six, like maybe.
What about you? What about Chelsea?
I see Chelsea. I see Chelsea still maintaining where they're at. I see, especially if we really do make some signings. I think that that's going to be crucial. I can't reiterate my want for Nathan Ake. I think that should be a number one priority. I just think that his consistency and his understanding of the game in the backfield and him already knowing the Chelsea system and just being comfortable to walk back in would be huge. It would, and we have a buyback clause on him. So
you do.
So it would
Still
be
quite a lot of money though, right?
it's about 40 million, but for the defender and the form that he's in, and then for what we would pay if we didn't have a buyback clause, we'd probably say double that.
Yeah.
So I would take it as soon as we can. I mean, we could use all the help we can get, and I mean, if you think about it, we sold Hazard for 100 million, so we still have 60 million to splash on any other player, not just that, but also transfer budgets that come in as well. So if we signed him and Cavani, I am a perfectly content Chelsea fan. I just
that's
see
circulating the rumours, isn't it, Cavani? Because he's out of favour now at PSG. Even though he's a fan favourite, it seems that he wants to try and get to the Premier League.
Oh, he's definitely. They've held talks with each other, and it's just a matter of PSG, a club meeting PSG's asking price, and apparently his agent flew out to Madrid to negotiate something with Atletico, but they couldn't agree on a price. So that kind of leaves an open gap, and that's where he wanted to go. But that leaves an opening for Chelsea to come in. He already said no to United made an approach. I think Arsenal made an approach, and Lampard's been an admirer of him for a while. And who knows, maybe Lampard can lure him in at the last minute. If not, I mean, we'll see. He's out of contract in the summer. I still think he'll probably, if we don't sign him now, then he's probably going to go to Atletico on a free transfer. But I would love to see somebody like Edinson Cavani because he's got that killer instinct, very few players had, in Chelsea team. Diego
Yeah.
Costa before, even Morata for a little bit, Drogba. I mean, we need something like that to be able to fill that void. Not to say that Tammy doesn't have that, but Tammy's also a young man. Tammy's also still learning to develop that because he's shown flashes of it. And if it weren't for his youth and inexperience, I would say, oh yeah, put him up at the number 9 every single game. But you got to be able to get some fresh legs in there. You got to be able to get somebody with some real experience in there as well.
Yeah.
And I think that was what I would see could be. If not, then go for a winger like Diev or Mertens. Like absolutely go into that. I don't see anything wrong with either of those signings. Mertens maybe a little bit hesitant just because of the size and the physicality of the Premier League, but I think that he would adjust to it very quickly. I think that we've had small players in the past who have. I mean, when Juan Mata was playing for us, that's a PFA Player of the Season 2 times, but our Player of the Season 2 times. Eden Hazard, that was our golden boy. I mean, and these are both smaller wingers who found success.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be too worried about him not doing any got goals in him. So that's the real thing. It's just a player in the attack that has goals in him. And I think that Ziev and Mertens both have them. And it's just a matter of who we sign with the next 48 hours. Really good. Really good.
So they're the players you'd like to see come in. Did you hear about Barcelona's £85 million bid for Richarlison from Everton?
You know what that says to me? That says to me that Barcelona are a little bit desperate to fill that their midfield up. I think that with that, I think that it's almost like they're looking to reconstruct their team. I mean, Messi's only getting older, and they still need to maintain that super team status. And I think that if you adjust to a player like Richarlison, especially at the age he's at right now, to the Spanish league, and you got him in on a team like Barcelona, he'd be fantastic. But like I said, it looks like a desperate kind of reach for the saying that Barcelona are like, not that they're faltering, it's not that they can't pull or get other players from other leagues, but it's a sign that it's like a panic, and it looks like they really are trying to make a signing that could potentially change their position in the league. Where I mean, somebody like him could be absolutely be a difference between finishing first and second.
They were trying to go for Giroud as well, apparently, and then they were going for Bruno Fernandes as well. But apparently he turned them down because he really wants the Premier League and he sees it as he's 25 or so years old, not really going to get a better chance to go to the Premier League than through midway. So I'm happy about that actually as a Man United fan, but you never know what might happen. He might fail the medical and then end up playing in China.
I don't see that. I don't see that happening. I see him being a good fit for your system. I think that like a player like him has the quality to be able to pass and move the ball very well and very fluidly, as well as defensively goal. I don't think that he's going to break through the way that United fans always, and even Chelsea fans are guilty of it. Any team in the top flight are guilty of having wishful thinking, like, oh, hit the ball, get the ball running, hit the ground running, and just go for it, and rack up and surprise everybody. Who knows? Maybe he will. But I think that as the Premier League continues to grow and change, I think it becomes harder and harder for players to break through just because of the amount of pressure that's growing in the Premier League. I think that it's just becoming more and more competitive as time goes on. I don't see it necessarily dropping in quality. I mean, look at Liverpool now. Liverpool, one of the best teams that I think if they continue this form, they're going to be able to go down as one of the best teams in history. I mean, this is incredible. And to think that there are teams still competing and keeping them at tight scores and keeping them, and from all ranges, from top to bottom, and now teams beating the likes of Manchester City. You've got teams. It's an amazing thing in football. What's happening? How the shifts of rules and regulations and players and everything. Yeah, no, it's not good, but it's
I'm gonna hate it. I don't know. Fergie time.
Fergie time. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. You guys thrived off of that for such a long time. But I'm excited. I'm excited. I think that Chelsea's got a real chance of doing something. I think that United can get back into it as well. I mean, they're not far off. And it's an open playing ground. It's Liverpool's season to lose if I don't see how that's really possible anymore. But I think that just makes it more competitive for the next right for the next teams to be able to come in and compete. So it's a matter of you have to prepare yourself for next year,
Yeah.
And knocking them off the throne, because that's what the Premier League is all about. You go and you beat the big dogs, and you go and you compete against the big dogs, and I'm excited. Like I said,
can I just go straight off topic, talking about big dogs?
Mhm.
Kobe Bryant.
Man, that was
But just rest in peace to everybody on that helicopter crash as well. It really shook me up when I heard about it on Sunday. I just couldn't believe what happened. I mean, and I know you're much closer to me with basketball and the Lakers.
Kobe for me is he signifies something bigger than basketball. I mean, growing up, being from Sacramento and being a Kings fan, you think that, oh man, it's the LA Lakers, you're supposed to be rivals, you're supposed to hate each other. And a lot of my friends and people around me hated Kobe. I mean, they hated Kobe. I mean, just because of the rivalry, bitter rivalry. But that wasn't me. I mean, I played all sports. I mean, growing up, I would spend hours just with a ball either in hand or at feet, shooting hoops or kicking it into. I mean, and as I got older, football became more of a priority. But I remember getting haircuts like Kobe, rocking a little mini afro, wearing my socks up to my knees, wearing arm sleeves and gear to be as much like Kobe as possible. I mean, I had his shoes, I had his sneakers, and when something like that happens, where you lose somebody who you hold up on a pedestal like that, it feels like a part of you leaves. It feels like you really lose a part of it. Like, there's very few people in the world, you get sad over when people mourn and when people pass, especially in old age or disease, or somebody's going through a hard time, and it's the unexpectedness. I mean, this is a guy who really, really, really turned his life completely around. From that case that he had to fight, and he went from being one of the most hated people in all sports.
It's like a high school dropout, right? He didn't go into basketball.
Didn't go into high school.
Picked up straight from and went to, was it the Charlotte Hornets as a young man?
And from there, you look at where it went. I mean, he's everything that you want in a father figure in terms of modern day. He was everything you wanted in a modern day father figure. And his kid, Gigi, it's even more sad because I think that was the future. I mean, that's the future for women's basketball. That gives a chance. Now there's a name behind that legacy. Now there's a chance for this kid to be able to break through for women's basketball, and it was tough. It was tough.
Very sad news.
Yeah.
Horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible to hear. I'm thinking of the families right now, and all the fans and all that.
All the families and the families of the people who were also lost on that. I mean, just because Kobe has a name behind it doesn't mean that it's not just a tragedy overall. I mean, it's
the same with Leicester City thing, isn't it? Like everybody
exactly
realised it wasn't just the Leicester City owner on board. It was
exactly
a lot of other people have been affected by it. So
exactly. And
sorry to bring that up,
yeah,
mate. But...
yeah. No, you're all right. You're all right. Don't worry about it. I've had time to think about it just because as a footballer, I still use his techniques and his mentality of work rate to everyday things, and I advise everybody to go and watch a Kobe just inspirational video just to understand you know what success looks like behind the scenes, because a lot of people look at, oh, you got the cars, you've got the house, you've got the money, you've got all of this, and he exemplified what it looked like to bust your ass off for as long as possible behind the scenes to look good in front of thousands, and that to me is forever will be his legacy, is his work rate, his pure determination, and we can all learn something from it.
That was a very good way to finish off as well. That was brilliant, mate. nice for saying that. That was beautiful. Well done, man. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to me and Eric, and thank you, Eric, as well, for joining us today.
No problem, man.
And we'll get you back on soon, and hopefully get you over here as well. Watch your game.
Absolutely. I would love that.
Got to get Bills over as well. He seems to be doing a bit of
we got to get him in
at the moment. I've got to call him up with the honeys, on the beach.
You never know what he's up to.
Well, mate, thank you very much, and we'll see you again soon.
Cheers, man.
Bye-bye.